Hi, and welcome to another Woody's Tapestry. And here on Woody's Tapestry, we love to put our heads together and come up with a little something. And today is no different. But before we get to that, let me just ask you to please subscribe to the station. Leave comments if you think you have to. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to ring that bell. Let me throw this at you, fam, before I get started. Today's question is, do you get the message? It's a simple enough question. Do you get the message? Some people do, some people don't. But let me just give you a hint. The message is in front of you. All in front of you. Everywhere. You get that? Message. Some people will miss that. It's amazing to me. You know what else is amazing to me? It's amazing to me how the most powerful star in the universe don't even make a sound. I mean, here it is every morning. Every day, it rises to the occasion. And when it rises to the occasion, it's always on time. Now, let me ask you, when the last time you just looked at a sunrise and it marveled at its greatness? Just, man, that's real power, ain't it? Unlike us, the sun has endless amount of power. I heard a story one time about the sun and the moon, the sun and the wind, having an argument about who was the strongest. And the wind had this understanding that because he can make noise and blow real hard, that he was the strongest. So he challenged the sun. And they saw this guy walking in this long, overcoat. And the wind turns to the sun and said, I bet you I can make that guy take that coat off. And the sun just looked at him and smiled and didn't say anything. So the wind got to blowing and howling and and all that. And the more he blew, the colder it got. So guess what the guy did? That's right. He wrapped himself up tighter in his coat. See, this made the man cold, so, he tightened up. Now, here's the thing that's so interesting about that. Right now in this country, we're going through this same thing right now with the government. They're doing that exact same thing. They think that they can speak real loud and huff and puff and threaten to blow down the American democracy. And we look at them and saying, and we're the citizens of this country, we're not feared. Going to be running around in circles and pointing up at the Fox News sky and saying, the sky is falling, y'all please run for the hills. No, we're not going to do that. Just because America white consciousness got busted upside the head with a little bit of peace and truth, not everybody want to panic. The power in this country is going to shift. It's inevitable. It does it in all countries because people are starting to question that I got old money, you got new money. Man, money is money and money spends, new or old. If you got new money and you don't want it, let me have some of it. I be waiting. Like that man in the story, all this empty noise just caused the American people to pull their coat of justice together and tighten up a little bit more. So I ask you, do you get the message? It's right in front of you. See, every freedom that we have fought in this country came with a price. Now, how come freedom ain't free? I don't get that. So, making loud noises and trying to frighten your citizens, it's not going to make us take off our coat of humanity and human rights, or for that matter, any protection. America, I got news for you. The noise that you make it only succeed in causing us to wrap up tighter and wrap ourselves even more into this American dream. Do you know that we're in this together? You remember, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. All men. See, in most real America that still believe in democracy, we believe it's worth saving. And for those of you that don't believe that, you're going to find yourself on the wrong side of history. See, you loud, but you ain't saying nothing. Trying to convince some that the nonsense that you keep throwing at us is the sky falling and hitting us on the head. Come on, man. We know better than that. So you trick a few misguided people, I understand that, and they go do your dirty work, you know. Even the insurgents would let me tell you something. That whole January 6th thing, if they would have succeeded in taking over the White House, do y'all not know there's no power in the building? The power is in the people. And all they have to do is go to another location and declare it Congress and keep moving. How you gonna take over something that ain't got no power? I don't get that. I mean, that's crazy to me. See, we need to take our cue from the sun. Just rise to the occasion and do it quietly. Okay? So use the power given to you by the Creator to create freedom. And after all that with the story with the wind, after it did all that blowing and huffing and puffing, it realized that the only thing that it succeeded in doing was making that individual resist more and resist harder. So by trying to take away people's rights, makes them resist harder and resist more. See, the sun only came out for a few minutes, smile, and because the sun smile was so warm, it warmed the guy up, see, and he took his jacket off. Sun didn't have to say nothing. The one truth that I can say that all of us are going to be faced with, and that is, we don't know how much time that we have left on this earth. So why do we waste this precious commodity that we call time? Do you get this message? It's right in front of you. See, so often we hear words like wisdom, knowledge, a sense of direction, love, freedom, but we don't hear the message. And the message is right in front of you. Do you take the red pill or do you take the blue pill? Make a decision, okay? And the message is the same today as it always has been for thousands of years. It's a simple message. So why do so many of us miss the message? For one thing, we get too wrapped up and hung up in other people's messages. Look at it like this. All of us on this planet, all of us have heard the message of love. You hear that from the beginning of creation when you're born. You hear that. And I can tell you another time when the disciples was talking to Jesus and they said, what is the most important commandment that there is? And Jesus didn't look around and say, well, I tell you, I've been at this for a long time. No, he didn't do any of that. You know what he did? He said love. That was the first thing that came out of his mouth. So instead of hearing the message and applying the message, we get tripped up over stupid discussions on like whether God is a man or a woman, or whether or not the Creator should be referred to as a man. Or man, check this out. While you going through all this and all this arguing, bickering, and back and forth about the Creator's gender, the world is still going around and around, and the clock is still ticking. Huh? Oh. So now you want to know what's my point? I just heard somebody say, well, get to your point. Okay, here's my point. I want to know is why are you so concerned about the messenger instead of the message? This brings me to the same question. Do you get the message? It's right in front of you. But see, most of you don't get it. You're too busy worried about trying to get stuff to start over. There you go. See? And as long as you can hear his voice calling you in your heart, man, you're cool. But America riddled me this. How is it possible for you to fill a boat with human cargo and not see that you're in the same boat that the captives are in? The same people that you got captive If the boat goes down, who drowns? Just them. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. If the boat goes down, who drowns? See, every time you sail from wherever to whatever, with all that cargo in the belly of your ship, you didn't even know you was creating American history right then and there. See, and we were on that same boat together. Well, I was talking. You get my point. America, did you not know that same boat ride that we all took across the pond, it helped to weave America's tapestry and history together? That fabric is what makes the fabric of America so interesting. And it's intertwined. Truth of the matter is, our destiny are the same. We're in this together. Do you get the message? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. That all men are created equal. America, where's the love? Until we meet again, this is Woody's Tapestry, and I would like to say peace to all, and I'll see you the next time.